be doing a quick review of the MPC Live Mark II. This is actually my second year that I've had this MPC Live Mark II. I still have my MPC 1, but I do not use it. It's pretty obvious that the MPC Live Mark II is my favorite MPC. And I'm gonna go through real quick and discuss why this machine is my favorite MPC as of right now. Now, I made a video a while ago on the MPC Live Mark II, but I've had it for such a long time now, I feel like I have a better understanding on why it is that I'm sticking with this one. Even though the MPC 1, MPC Live Mark II, they're essentially the same thing, the same workflow, same sound, but there's a few things with this Live 2 that really stands out to me and the way I make music. But first thing first, let's get the obvious out of the way and let's talk about its portability. I think the portability of the Live 2 is a very, very big deal, especially for me. As you guys can see, we're actually out on a trip right now and I was able to bring this with me. I don't have to plug it in anywhere. This is a battery life on the Live Mark II. Is very good. It will last me a few hours without me having to plug it in, and not just being unplugged, but also the speaker that the Live Mark II has. I feel like the speaker at first, I was like whatever about it. I didn't think much of it, but I was like, you know what? It's awesome that it's gonna have a speaker. But once you get to listen to the speaker, for it being a portable speaker is awesome. I mean, I could make full-on beats just with the speaker alone. It has, I don't know if it has subwoofers in it, but it really bumps. I'm able to produce a track. I'm not mixing with the speaker, but I'm able to judge how the kicks are sounding. As a matter of fact, even if your kick sounds good with this little small speaker right here, you know it's gonna sound good when you actually play it on car speakers or on your headphones or on an actual system. Not only that, but I am a dad, and me being a dad, there's so many times where I go out with my daughter, and when I'm out with my daughter in the backyard and she's playing around, I'm able to bring this with me. I'm not gonna be doing work or focusing on music, but I'm able to just kind of sketch out some ideas as she's running around. Now let's talk about the build quality. Actually, compared to the MPC 1, the MPC 1 is actually a solid MPC, but when I picked up this Live Mark II, it just feels like a tank. Like, this thing feels heavy. There's some weight to it, and I'm not sure what they're made out of, but this just feels a little sturdier than the MPC 1. It reminds me of my 2000 XL. I mean, the 2000 XL is very heavy and it feels good. I actually like when the machines feel heavy. It just does not feel like it's gonna break down on me anytime soon. The buttons, everything right here feels really good. And I also feel like it could be a bit heavy because the battery that it comes with, which is a good thing. Now, talking about the weight of it, I am on a trip and I did bring it with me, but it's not something that I would usually do. This is not something that I want to just take out with me all the time, but in this trip I decided to bring it with me and it's been very fun, but it's so heavy, pretty big, I'm not thinking of taking it with me everywhere. All right, so getting the obvious out of the way, I'm actually trying to skip over that and get into why I really love the MPC Live Mark II. This is not gonna click with everybody, but this is very important for someone like me. And if you're watching this and you're similar to me, this is gonna resonate with you. The inputs and the outputs of the MPC Live Mark II, that's where it shines for me. And that's where the power, just everything unlocked for me when I saw the outputs and the inputs on the MPC Live 2. Now let's keep in mind, there is an update and you are able to hook up an external interface to the MPC 1 or any of the newer MPCs, but I do not want to carry an external interface with cables. Like, I want to just grab this MPC, take it out with me in a few pieces of outboard gear to start manipulating sound. Now this Mark II has 6 outputs, which I'm going to use those 6 outputs, especially when I'm in my studio. You could utilize these outputs to go into different pieces of outboard gear. And I feel like it's very powerful how Akai has made their, I want to say like their mixer page. I feel like the mixer page, it reminds me of Pro Tools. They have sends, returns, and when you have sends in Pro Tools, you would want to send signal. If you have outboard gear and physical outputs, you could send signal to compressors, EQs, guitar pedals, effects pedals. You could get so creative if you want to dive into the outboard gear world. So for me, I actually have a few guitar pedals and I love manipulating my sounds, getting into sound design. And yes, Akai does give us some plugins, but when you're using outboard gear, I feel like you unlock this power that sounds so good. Now, that's why I said this is not gonna click with everybody. If you're just getting into the MPC, this is probably not gonna make sense, and why would I wanna do that? And that's fine, just focus on making beats. But once you're past that stage of, all right, I know how to make a beat in the MPC, and you wanna dive into plugging in outboard gear or expanding your sound design collection and start getting a few guitar pedals, you could expand what you can do in the MPC. This is not a machine you buy just to make beats. I mean, it is great to make beats, but it's so much more than just making beats. Now, I have some videos where I show how I'm using guitar pedals to make music and use it as sound design. I'll leave a link somewhere up here. But to me, that's where the power came in with this Live Mark II. Now, there is rumors about a new MPC that Akai is probably gonna be dropping, and that's great. And I'm actually excited for that, but honestly, I feel like Akai has done so much already. I don't know what else I could ask for. I mean, for me, it would be the hardware. If anything I can think about would be, yes, we have 6 output, but it'd be really cool to also have 4 or 6 inputs. So we can go out into outboard gear and bring your signal back into your MPC without any external interface. That right there to me would be so powerful. I mean, the machine is already powerful. I'm thankful for the updates that Akai gives us, but that to me would just, it just has everything in one. This is a professional studio to me. It doesn't matter about the unit, it just matters about what type of sounds you're bringing into the unit, the interfaces that you're using and hooking it up to your MPC. I no longer work in a professional DAW like Pro Tools because this sounds just as good, if not even better, depending on the type of preamps that I'm using. Now, on top of having the flexibility of being able to plug in outboard gear or whatever it is that you want to plug into your MPC, you also have the powerful way of workflow of making music with the MPC. Like to me, the grid editor, the way I'm able to manipulate my drums and drop them into my grid editor and perform and take away and nudge, like that to me is so powerful. That's all I need to make music. I don't need 1,000 plugins and third-party plugins. I mean, it'd be cool to have, but it's not something that I need to make music. If I can choose anything, instead of plugins, I want inputs and outputs, and being able to work the way we have been working with the workflow, the grid editor, the way I'm arranging each sequence, that's so powerful. So anybody that's getting into the MPC or is thinking about getting an MPC, should I get the MPC 1 or the MPC Live Mark II? My personal opinion, rock with the MPC Live Mark II. If you are saying, I don't really care about plugging in outboard gear, I just want to make beats. That's what you're probably saying right now, but once you get past that just making beats stage, you're gonna want that extra power with the IOs. And yes, you could hook up interfaces, but me, I just like having everything right in the box. Now, flexibility is everything. Again, I'm out in this trip. I don't have any of my guitar pedals or anything, but if I want to just leave that at home, I could totally leave that at home and just have fun with the MPC and just focus on beat making or creating beats, sampling off of my phone. Like, I have everything I need in this one box. If I want to expand it, I could expand it whenever I want, and if I don't, I can keep it simple within this box. So I thought I'd share my input since I've had this already for 2 years and I am completely in love with the Live Mark II. As a matter of fact, I'm still fresh with it. I'm still in love with it. I'm still learning new things about it. And that to me is something that I can grow with. Kind of like my 2000 XL. I used that MPC for years and I still enjoyed using the XL until I got into the new ones. But again, those are the things that I feel like there's longevity with these MPCs. And my way of able to connect and expand and build my arsenal of sounds with outboard gear and bring into this box. So let me know what your thought is. If you already have an MPC, if you have an MPC 1, a old school classic MPC, or the Live Mark II, let me know what you guys are rocking with. And if not, let me know which one you're thinking of picking up. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a blessed day. Yeah. And real quick, let's just get some B-roll of me just, I don't know, making beats right here.